Final product does not look great. In fact, it looks pretty awful. So on this day, I decided to make Beyond Meat breakfast sausages and this very simple cheese omelet. You can see I'm about to just stir up the eggs, and I do it in the pan because I'm literally that lazy, but also I'm pretty sure on this day I didn't have any clean bowls to whisk the eggs in. I'm just putting some black pepper, some salt, and then sprinkling some Trader Joe's shredded Mexican cheese. And then I'm flipping it, putting in the Beyond Breakfast sausages, which I did burn a little bit, I'm not gonna lie to you, but it was pretty good. And then I cut up half of an avocado to go with it. And the avocado was a little unripe, but you know what? You just gotta live with that sometimes. So yeah, this was actually one of the better breakfasts I made this week. And I just put some salt on the avocado and yum, amazing. So for this lunch, I decided to just make some of my favorite Trader Joe's brown rice pasta, and I'm letting that boil, and then I strain it here. And I'm gonna put a little bit of salt on it, mix that in with the pasta because I forgot to put it in the water before. And then I'm putting some Newman's Own Alfredo sauce on it. And this is sort of like a half-assed meal, but it was actually really good. So I mixed that in with the pasta and put a few of these Trader Joe's green olives that come in these little packets, as well as some garlic salt, and just mixed that all together, and it was great. I also had a juice box because I am actually 5 years old. Hey guys, so today I'm gonna be making a pizza. It's the bruschetta gluten-free, and I know it's not vegetarian. I'm actually not a vegetarian, but I have been trying to eat less meat, and so that's why this week I'm only showcasing vegetarian and gluten-free meals. But my boyfriend loves pepperoni pizza, so I decided to compromise with him. We're gonna be making this, and then I'll just pick off the pepperoni slices or give them to him. I will say though that this is the best frozen gluten-free pizza that I have found, and I have tried pretty much all of the ones that are on the market. So if you can find this, I recommend, and they do have a cheese version if you are vegetarian. Okay, so she is slightly burnt, but you know, it could be worse. It really could be. And I'm famous for burning things, so that's just fine. So this is one of my favorite breakfasts. It's just brown sugar maple oatmeal. And as you can see, I'm using 2 packets because one is just not really enough to fill me up for breakfast. I'm just using water, although sometimes I put oat milk in it, and then putting it in the microwave, and I was just so exhausted this day, so this was all I could do. Sometimes I will put toppings on here though. And there's my boyfriend doing a great dance. Okay. For lunch, I tried to make this Trader Joe's gluten-free mac and cheese, which is usually really good, but on this day it did not work out that well for some reason. But here's how I normally do it. I put oat milk and some butter, and then a little bit of shredded cheese, as well as the cheese sauce mix. But I did lose the final clip, and it didn't turn out that good anyway, so here's another clip of my boyfriend dancing and looking like a weirdo. For dinner, I decided to make a Greek salad. This has always been one of my very favorite dinners. I decided to just kind of treat myself today. It was a little bit more work than I'm used to, especially for finals week, but it turned out really good, so I'm glad I made it. So here I'm just peeling the cucumber. As you can see, I'm just chopping up all the vegetables into little tiny pieces, and then I'm going to mix them all together. I'm adding some crumbled feta from Trader Joe's, this is my favorite, and those same green olives from Trader Joe's, as well as some olive oil. Normally I'd put a little bit of vinegar and dressing, but I didn't have any, so I just made do with sea salt and black pepper. And yeah, that was the salad. Yummy. I also made fries because I just adore fries so much. So this is my breakfast almost every single day. Nutella toast is kind of my go-to. I was so exhausted this day. And then for lunch, I did kind of an odd lunch. This is actually a Hungarian thing, but I decided to make bundáskenyér, which means like coated bread. And it's basically French toast, but in Hungary we eat it for dinners and lunches. And I didn't have that much food. We hadn't gone grocery shopping, so I just decided to make this for lunch. And yeah, it's like French toast, but we eat it salty without any sort of added milk or anything. We just whisk up eggs and dip dry bread in it and fry it in a pan with a little bit of oil and then add some salt, and that's pretty much it. In Hungary they eat it with different kinds of toppings, but I just had it plain and it was really good. Then I had a Nature Valley granola bar for a snack afterwards. So for dinner, I decided to make fried rice because we had some leftover white rice that was just in the fridge. This is one of my favorite easy meals too. So I start by microwaving the rice and putting the frozen peas and frozen vegetables in there. I was using broccoli and carrots for this one. You can see I let them steam for quite a while. I also stir up some eggs in a separate pan and sort of half cook it. In the meantime, I add the rice to the veggies while they're steaming. I have some open sesame seasoning, some garlic powder, some soy sauce, some salt, etc., etc. You can kind of put whatever you want. Also, my soy sauce that I get is gluten-free. And it turned out really good.
Hello, hi, good morning. So today I'm going to be making banana bread. I was gonna say banana loaf. Is that a thing? So the recipe is actually from Gimme Some Delicious. I can link it below if anybody's interested. It's called the best ever super moist gluten-free banana bread, and it's really good. So I'm just kind of craving that for breakfast right now, but it's already 10:20 because I've been sleeping in super late recently. I'm gonna snack on some of these rice cakes. They're the honey nut flavor, but honestly they don't have much flavor. They're pretty plain. So we're gonna snack on those while we make the banana bread. I'm excited that you're here. Thank you for hanging out with me and watching me attempt to cook things in the kitchen. I am determined to make this right, so we're gonna do it step by step. I'm gonna take you guys with me so you can hold me accountable to doing everything right, because I tend to cut corners when I cook and that's where I get into trouble. So let's do this. First of all, we need to preheat the oven to 350 degrees, so let's do that. And then we need to grease our baking pan. I'll be using this little number. Oh, this is empty. This is officially the worst hand oil sprayer. I just want to show you my slew of ingredients. We have oat milk, sugar, Bob's Red Mill, baking flour, salt, butter, bananas that aren't quite ripe enough, but I'm gonna make it work, baking soda, vanilla, baking powder, eggs, and chocolate chips. Nice. So we're going to do all of the dry ingredients. 2 cups of flour. 1 teaspoon. 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. For future reference, I will not be pouring the ingredients over the bowl. In a separate bowl, cream together butter and sugar. Is it melted? Oh yeah, it is. We're going to mix in the sugar with the butter. Cream it, if you will. So let's see how that goes. How are you supposed to cream it? What does that even mean? So now we're going to stir in the other ingredients too. Eggs, milk, and vanilla. Okay, we need 2 eggs. Okay, so now that's done, we have a very fun job ahead of us, and that is mashing our bananas. Okay, final product does not look great. In fact, it looks pretty awful. Okay, good enough. We're going to be adding this mixture in to our bananas and stirring it up. Guys, look at her! And we're gonna set the timer for 50 to 55 minutes or until toothpick inserted into center comes out clean. Hopefully it turns out good. I'll update you guys.
So for lunch on this day, I decided to make these little open-faced tacos. They're really simple. I just use a can of Trader Joe's black beans. I put it into a pan with some of its own juice, I guess. That's really gross. And some oil and some salt and some garlic powder. And I let that simmer for a while, and then I just heat up corn tortillas with some shredded cheese on top, let the cheese melt, and then put everything together like this. You can put salsa, you can put parsley like I did, or avocado if you have it, but this was really good and really easy. And then for dinner, I know this is not an adequate dinner, but I was stressing and I had a night class, so I just made some fries in the oven and it was great. I love fries. Potatoes are my #1 favorite food, so this actually filled me up. I ate it with ranch, and then I had a little snack afterwards as well, because it really wasn't that much. I just had one of these popsicles because, again, I am a child and I love popsicles. Ignore the phallic shape and the sexual innuendo here. So for breakfast on Friday, I just had some of the leftover banana bread and I cut up fresh strawberries to go on top of it, and it was so yummy. And then for lunch, I had just this Amy's gluten-free burrito, and these are frozen. They're so good, actually. I just had it with this Trader Joe's pico de gallo and corn chips. Honestly, such a bomb lunch.